Trustee Kimball, will you please convene the Committee on Institutional Advancement?
Thank you, Chair Fong. Will the Committee on Institutional Advancement please come to order? It's now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove any item for separate discussion? Hearing none, is there any objection to the approval of the consent agenda? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. The committee has one action item on today's discussion agenda. Item 3 is a facility naming request from California State University, Northridge, seeking committee approval for the naming of the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center. The item will be presented by Steve Relia, Executive Vice Chancellor and Chief Financial Officer, and Erica Beck, President, CSUN. Please begin, Steve.
Thank you, Trustee Kimball. This presentation is a facility naming request by the California State University Northridge to name the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center. The proposed naming recognizes the cumulative $7,075,000 gift from the software company Autodesk to construct a facility that will house academic programs for the College of Engineering and Computer Science, as well as CSUN's Global HSI Equity Innovation Hub. The new 30,000 square foot facility will be designed to accelerate equity through education that both inspires and prepares a diverse body of students to become the innovators and creators of the future. I now turn the presentation over to President Erica Beck to say a few words about this naming. President Beck.
Well, thank you, Steve. I am delighted to introduce you all virtually to Dr. Andrew Anagnost, CSUN alum and President and CEO of Autodesk. Autodesk is a company whose commitment to positive social change resonates deeply with CSUN's mission and whose support is helping us create a more vibrant, equitable, and inclusive academic community. With a mission to help people design and make a better world through innovation, sustainability, and social impact, Autodesk has been developing the software and technology that empowers people to create, innovate, and solve complex challenges across industries ranging from architecture and engineering to entertainment and media. By leveraging their vast resources, expertise, and belief in the power of technology as a force for positive change, Autodesk is addressing some of the world's most pressing challenges, while also, if you happen to catch it, crafting some of the coolest Oscar commercials I can remember. Now you're going to Google it. It's really good. As the creative and fearless organization that it is, Autodesk was the first to invest in the vision of what we originally imagined as a center of possibilities, a facility that will house both exceptional academic programs as well as the new Global Hispanic Serving Institution Equity Innovation Hub programming that will help shape more equitable pathways to the future of STEAM industries. Autodesk was the first to provide funding to support the feasibility study, resulting in the center becoming much more than just a possibility. Since that initial investment, Autodesk has deepened its partnership with us to offer internships to CSUN students, invitations to faculty to participate in industry conferences, and as Steve indicated, has now contributed more than $7 million to support the capital construction of this transformational facility, which we hope after this meeting will be called the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center. Featuring equity as a core design principle, the center will be powered by cutting-edge technology to advance collaboration and interdisciplinary design and research, including labs for engineering, prototype creation, pre-manufacture, and iterative design, as well as flexible space for interdisciplinary research teams to collaborate, innovate, and incubate ideas, and importantly, a makerspace for P14 outreach and engagement. Andrew's journey from CSUN to the C-suite beautifully captures the transformative power of higher education. Through his pivotal role in Autodesk support, as well as through his own personal investment in his alma mater, Andrew's commitment through philanthropy will not only benefit hundreds of thousands of students, but it sets an inspiring example of leadership in service of a brighter and more equitable future for us all. So Andrew, we are incredibly grateful for all that you and Autodesk have done to support the transformational work happening at CSUN, and in recognition of your incredible partnership, it is my privilege to recommend the naming of this new campus facility as the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center.
Thank you, President Beck. The naming of the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center at CSUN is an action item before the Committee on Institutional Advancement. May I have a motion from a committee member to approve the item?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? It appears there are no further questions or comments. There has been a motion and a second to approve the item. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? The item is approved. Interim Chancellor Kester, Andrew Anagnost, they told me how to pronounce it, Anagnost, CEO of Autodesk, was unable to be here today in person, but is joining us via Zoom. Will you please share a few remarks before we hear from Mr. Anagnost?
This is another one of those moments, right? I seem to be having many of these today when being 75 and reviewing my history in the California State University immediately comes to fore. This is a remarkable moment for CSUN and for the system, and for this remarkable individual who is a graduate of one of the other universities that's sort of near and dear to my heart. You all are near and dear to my heart at this point, but the commitment that Andrew has made through his personal and corporate philanthropy to equity and inclusion, social transformation, the sciences, engineering at California State University Northridge that will benefit the entire CSU system is something that I look forward to applauding after he has had the opportunity to speak with us. Now we go to Andrew.
Now we go to Mr. Anagnost.
Andrew, please.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Don't know how to go after all of that. Trustees, presidents, members of the Chancellor's Council, I first want to express my regrets that I'm not able to be there in person. I really, really wanted to be, but circumstances just didn't make it possible. Nonetheless, I am here to talk to you about naming a building at CSUN after the amazing company I have the privilege to lead. But before I talk about the company, its mission, and its motivations for engaging with the university, I do want to take a small diversion to tell you about my personal journey and my personal connection to the university. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My father worked for the California State Department of Rehabilitation. He was a rehabilitation counselor. He was later an administrator. My mother worked at Kaiser Permanente as a nurse after getting her nursing degree at CSUN. She was part of the first cohort of nurse practitioners licensed in the state of California. Both were born in the US, but they were children of immigrants that arrived in the US from Greece and Spain just before the start of World War I as part of the largest wave of immigration in US history. Both were the first in their families to go to college. My brother and sister had a fairly typical teenage experience. Both went to CSUN. My sister even went on to get her teaching credential there and is a digital arts teacher at John F. Kennedy High School in the LA Unified School District. My experience growing up, on the other hand, was a little bit more problematic. By the fourth grade, I was reading stacks of adult novels. I loved college-level biographies. I was obsessed with spaceflight. I was one of these strong visual and experiential learners, and as was typical of my type, I was very easily distracted. In other words, I was a significant parental and educational challenge. Some might say nightmare. My parents did their best, but they were just trying to stay afloat most of the time, and they had little excess capacity for my needs. Schools barely had the capacity to engage me, and then came Prop 13 and all its impacts on educational funding just as I was entering the 9th grade. If there was a crack to fall through, I found every single one of them. By the time I was 16, I had a serious substance abuse problem. I had been arrested more than once. I'd gotten expelled from high school. I had a brief stint in juvenile hall, and I was on probation. It was only after a dramatic car crash that basically nearly killed myself and the friend that was driving with me that I started to confront what was going wrong with my life. By the time I had reached the 12th grade, I had somewhat turned things around. I was excelling academically, but because of my past challenges, I was still in danger of falling through more cracks in the educational system. I struggled to qualify for CSUN. I barely got in, but getting in was transformation. CSUN not only saved my future, it absolutely and indisputably enabled it. There I found a community that recognized what was untapped in me, nurtured me, supported me, educated me. With help from my CSUN professors, I went on to get both a master's degree in engineering science and a PhD in aeronautical engineering and computer science from Stanford University. And from there, I moved to the tech startup ecosystem, and today I run one of the largest software companies in the world. It's an almost miraculous transformation. Instead of falling through all the cracks, I have been able to thrive. And that is only because of the CSU system and its mission. So I simply want all of you to realize that this is not just about the company I'm representing today. For me, it is very, very personal. I believe the CSU system plays an important role in supporting, nurturing, and educating those that do not necessarily have the familial encouragement, engagement, or means to pursue a college education without broader community support. And its mission is more important today than it has ever been. Technology is changing who will have opportunity and who will not. And there are whole generations of students growing up without the support network that helps them understand what technology can do, what it means to them, and what it means to their future. Today, CSUN is one of the largest, if not the largest, Hispanic serving institutions in the country. This demographic and other demographics served by the university need more than a good university-level technical education. They need ongoing familial and personal exposure to technology earlier in their education, in middle school, in high school, even in elementary school. We cannot have generations of underserved students falling through the cracks because they don't even know what their opportunities are. That's why Autodesk, with a little bit of encouragement from me, is getting involved. As Erica said very brilliantly, we make software for people that make things. Engineers, architects, special effects artists, construction professionals, many, many more, people that make anything. Movies, buildings, bridges, cars, machines, rockets, you name it, someone makes it with our software. And when they make something, they engage with every aspect of technology: programming, electronics, manufacturing, digital construction, physics. Technology touches every aspect of how things are made. Beyond that, when you make something, a robot, an animated monster, or a 3D printed habitat, you are inspired by what technology can do. Your curiosity and interest are ignited. Making is a front door to inspiring young people to do more with technology and pursue a technical education. That's what the Autodesk Technology Engagement Center is all about. Yes, it's absolutely about supporting the engineering school with state-of-the-art facilities for designing, manufacturing, construction things. All of that is true. But it is also about engaging with the local community to get young people interested in technology through the act of making something. It's about helping to ensure the next generation of technological leaders doesn't fall through the cracks because they don't know what's possible. It's about making sure that everyone with talent and potential, despite their challenges, gets the same chance I did. That's why I sincerely appreciate your time and consideration today, and I thank you for it. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Ananost, for your compelling and inspiring personal story. And thank you for your gift to CSUN and helping the CSU fill those cracks so that other students aren't in danger of falling through them, just on the heels of what the chancellor spoke about earlier. Thank you so much. Chair Fong, that concludes the business of the Committee on Institutional Advancement.
Well, Dr. Ananost, I don't know if you are still on, but maybe you'll be watching this video later. But you received a standing ovation from this entire auditorium, and also our heartfelt thanks to you. So thank you, Trustee Campbell. We will now take a short 15-minute break. Actually, it'll be a little bit longer. Let's return promptly at 4 p.m., where we will reconvene. So 4 p.m. Thank you.
God, you're getting generous.